Who influenced you as a young comedian growing up?
As a young comedian growing up, man. So here's the thing: back in Zimbabwe, right? We didn't watch stand up comedy. We watched sitcoms. So this is how crazy this was, right? We had a lot of sitcoms growing up, like Seinfeld, Martin, the Sanford and Son. That those are the shows that we grew up watching, and I used to, imitate those jokes and, go tell them at school and all that good stuff. But only to realize when I came over here that all these guys that I used to watch on TV in these sitcoms were all stand-up comedians. So that blew me away, man. I had no idea that they all started off as stand-up comics. And so those were, and so when I first saw Martin hosting Def Comedy Jam, I was like, dude, I've been watching this guy on TV on a sitcom. So now I'm watching him do his stand-up. So he was one of my first influences, and Chris Tucker, and then next thing
Yeah.
you know, I found out about the Kings of Comedy with Bernie Mac and Jerry Seinfeld. So it was like, wow, man, this is unbelievable. So once I watched them, I was like, okay, show me what's next.
So if you were having a dream dinner party and you can sit down with three famous people dead or alive, who do you want to choose?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive. For instance, I go with Tupac. Seth
Yeah.
Rogen would be my comedian because he's from
Okay.
Vancouver, so I love Seth Rogen. And
Okay.
then I'd probably want to see some eye candy, so I'd go with Shakira.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Dead or alive. So this is just celebrities that we're talking about, right?
Well, somebody famous, yeah, because
Somebody famous.
everybody has family they would obviously choose first.
Gotcha. Wow, that's an interesting question. Definitely Bernie Mac would be the comedian that I would like to sit down with, because I think he was just incredible. And
Yeah, he was.
and I want to sit down with Moses so he can tell me how it really was in Egypt. You know what I mean? I want him to tell me how he really split that water. And what is the burning bush?
Yeah.
Let's lay that debate to rest. Now, is it really the spliff, or was it something else? You know what I mean? So
I believe it to be the joint.
you know what I mean? I think that's what it was. The burning bush was something that got him really lit. And then number 3, I think I would say, wow, man, Elon Musk.
Okay.
Yeah, because
That's good.
he's kind of crazy.
How many vacuums did you sell to get to school?
How did you find out about that?
Dude, I dig deep into my guests on my show.
You sure did, man. That's a great question, man.
And it gets better as it goes. You start with I always do it like I start with the beginning of your career and your life, and then we get into having fun questions.
That's what's up. That's a crazy question. So listen, man, that was one of my first gigs. As a matter of fact, I truly believe that selling vacuum cleaners really helped me with my communicating skills, because it was direct sales, right? So you used to get this vacuum cleaner for $3,000, would go into homes and you ever watched the episode of I Love Lucy where the sales guy comes in and he dumps a whole bunch of dirt on the floor and then tries to pick up the dirt with her vacuum cleaner first and then come back behind with his? That's exactly how we used to do. That's exactly it. The moment these people let us in their homes, man, we're throwing dirt all over the place. And so I used to be good, man. I did it for a long time. I used to be very good. But in the beginning, I used to be very timid. I was scared because, you're talking to people, you're trying to sell. I didn't believe I was a salesperson. Then one of my trainers was like, Alfred, let me tell you something. A timid salesman's got skinny children, bro. You're going to starve to death if you don't learn how to talk to these people. And I was like, shit, I better start selling. So next thing you know, I'm pushing these vacuum cleaners in these houses, man, and people are buying. And I just knew the best way to get a people buy something that you had is to make them laugh, bring their guard down, let them have fun, enjoy themselves. And next thing you know, the money comes out. So yeah, that's what I used to do that, man.
And you used to do that to pay for school, though, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So it was, help me going to college and take care of myself. But
Yeah.
it was a lot of money. The way they hooked us up in the ad was they would say, you can come out and show 60 presentations and you make $2,400. Dude, this is like 2003, 2004. You telling a 22-year-old kid you make $2,400 at that time? We were like, shit, that's a lot of money,
Yeah. In Canada, we had selling knives. You went door to door selling knives.
That's right. That's right. Direct sales.
Improv helped make you better.
Oh my gosh, dude. The improv has really, really helped my career tremendously. So right after that Shaq All-Star competition, right? One of the general managers of the improvs, this guy used to manage about 4 of them. He came to me after that show because the final competition was held at the club. He had never seen me before. And he was like, you are funny. We want to work with you. And he said, are you free this weekend? I was like, absolutely. And that was the first weekend that I became a host at that club. And check this out. Guess who the first comedian I hosted for was? Capone. He came into town and I hosted, and you see how things work, man. God was just working for me, you know what I mean? And so the improv really got me in front of all these guys, and I got to work with them. That's how I got to work with Bill Bellamy, with Bruce, Michael Collier, like John Reap. Man, I've worked with a lot of incredible comedians, and they were able to just teach me a lot. So it's like every other weekend I was there. So I started off as a host. Then I stepped up, and next thing you know, they promoted me to be a feature. Now I'm featuring for these headliners. And then next thing you know, they're like, okay, Alfred, we're going to give you a one-nighter. Let's see how you do. Bam, now I'm a headliner, one-nighter. Next thing you know, bam, you get a full weekend. So it's a slow progress, but it was just working. And I owe them, a debt of gratitude for sure. The improv, they helped me a lot.
When I found you on Mr. Network's story a couple days ago, you were up here in the Pacific Northwest, correct?
Yeah.
What did you think? How do you like the Pacific Northwest?
I loved, man. It's crazy. I was really expecting nice weather. I've been very unlucky with the weather up there, man. It's not.
Because for me, that's a 2-hour drive. Like I go to Seahawks games every weekend, so
okay.
So we're 2-hour drive in the car from my door to the stadium.
Right. So I was up in Northern California. And it was a major festival that was happening out there, and it was raining and snowing too. I mean, you had snow-capped mountains, and everybody who lives there was freaking out. Oh my gosh! And then I just left a snowstorm right here in Dallas. So I was like, this ain't shit. But yeah, man, it was nice. It was a very different vibe altogether. The mountains, the scenery was really dope. I mean, obviously the comedy was just on fire.
So what's it like then when you get snow down in Dallas? You gotta see, because that's like nothing up here for us, and I hate snow.
We ain't used to it. I don't know. Go on my feed, man. There's like maybe 10 videos down. You're gonna see me in my driveway busting my ass when we had a snowstorm, because it turns into ice over here. So we have sheets of ice, so everybody just sliding everywhere, and we don't have
so warm that it melts.
Well, no, because it was freezing. Yeah,
but it'll melt and then freeze because of your heat.
Exactly.
Yeah, we get that shit. We get that shit a lot.
Yeah.
Tell me about your time with Comedy Central.
Well, so basically what happened was there's a brother by the name of Rudy Rush, another great comedian out of New York, who I got to open for. And, Rudy used to be the host of Showtime at the Apollo at some point. And basically he was like, dude, man, there's a show that's going to be coming, and they're going to be looking for some new talent. And I think you'd be great on it. Just keep on working, And you sometimes you don't pay attention to it if you've been in the game for so long, because you hear it all the time, right? Hey, man, I think you're going to be great in this, and nobody ever calls you back. But a couple of months later, man, he called me. He said, look, man, Kevin Hart is about to start a new show. I said, who? He said, Kevin Hart. Oh, out of here. And it's like, yeah, man, so we're gonna get you in, man. We're gonna make sure that you do this show. It's gonna be Heart of the City. He's gonna be going from city to city looking for 3 or 4 of the best comedians in each city and putting them on. And sure enough, man, they watched my tape and they called me. And we're like, yeah, man, we're gonna get you on this show. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, I was blown away. Like, dude, this is one of the biggest comedy superstars in the world, and he's talking about, you know, he watched my shit and he thinks I'm funny, and they're about to put me on, you know. And so they, you know, brought us out to Houston. We filmed in Houston, and it was an incredible time, man. Changed my world in the comedy.
You still talk to him? Kevin Hart?
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, with his team and everybody, you know, Joey Wells, you know, so yeah, we've created a great relationship. As a matter of fact, every time now that they come into town, you know, Kevin, they play the big arenas. I'm there, man. You know, I got the hookup. You know, I'm like,
yeah. I see him every time he comes to Vancouver as well.
That's what's up. Yeah. So
I don't miss him. He's my favorite too.
He's amazing, man.
Yeah. Really other than Seth Rogen.
Oh, but that's your boy, huh?
Yeah, because he's from Vancouver and he smokes weed. Like he's like me.